Hi, my name is Mark. I'm a yoga instructor in Vaughan, and I'm doing this video specifically for the Bradford Wolves. I'm very good friends with Coach Roberto Pagliaroli, who I've known for a very long time, and I'm very happy to offer some assistance during the COVID pandemic to keep his team in shape, and maybe you can continue to use this video or ideas from this video to help you with your soccer training. So we're not going to do the fancy yoga, we're going to do some very simple stretches, and the idea is to stretch out your core and stretch out your legs, specifically in areas that are going to be tight, because we want to have a longer range of motion, which will allow for a stronger kick, a stronger run, and a healthier run. So if your muscles over-contract, it means they don't have a lot of range of motion, and it's going to be easy for them to snap. So we want them to be as long as possible. My range of motion is going to be quite a bit more than yours. It's supposed to be because you're an athlete. A lot of soccer athletes, hockey athletes are going to have tight hips, tight hamstrings. That's normal, and they need that because of all the contractions they produce when they run, when they kick, when they're shifting. We're just going to help you find and explore that range of motion. So wherever you are, try to stand about with your feet hip-width apart, but you don't want your feet to splay out to the side. That's going to tighten up your glutes. You want to pull the big toes inwards because that's going to bring your pelvic bones away from the sacrum a little bit and give you a little bit of pelvic mobility. From here, you're going to inhale and bring your arms up. Reach them up as high as you can. Inhale. Exhale, we're going to tilt to the side and hold here. We're going to hold here and count 5 breaths. And that's 1. So lift your rib cage up and over like you're going over a sidebar. 2, try to bring your chest back and your hips forward. Breathe. 3, keep your legs strong. Rib cage up and over that sidebar again. 4. And 5. Inhale, come up. Exhale to the other side. Same thing, other side. Hold here. And that's 1. Keep your legs strong. Keep your core engaged here. 2, lift your rib cage up and over like you're going over a sidebar. Keep breathing. 3, try to bring your chest back and your hips forward. It's going to come a little bit deeper. Breathe. 4. And 5. Inhale, come up, and exhale, release your arms down. Okay, we're going to start with a forward bend. And I'm going to do a side profile so you can see me a bit better. Because your hips and hamstrings are tight, I'm going to tell you you need to bend your knees. That's going to allow your pelvis to tilt. And you want to bring your rib cage down flat to your thighs like you're skiing. But keep your gaze up. So think of lengthening your chest forward so you're stretching out your lower back. And this might already be a stretch for you. From here now, this is how you do a hamstring stretch if you're a soccer player. You start to straighten your legs from here. Keep your rib cage glued to the thighs and straighten your legs. Eventually they're going to come straight, but you don't have to do that today. You stay here, stop at your tension point, breathe. We're going to hold here for 5 breaths. And that's 1. Lean your hips forward, push your feet down, make your legs strong. And that's 2. Maybe work your legs a little bit straighter, keep lengthening your rib cage. 3. Relax your lower back, your rib cage is heavy as it slides down the legs. Maybe work your legs a bit straighter. 4. And 5. Okay, bend your knees again, keep your rib cage there, grab onto your calves this time. You're going to use your hands to pull the legs up this way. It's going to help you contract your pelvis more and slide your rib cage down. So grab onto your calves, pull your calves up and lengthen your rib cage down. Hold here again for 5 more breaths. Breathe. And that's 1. Push your calves forward. Resist the calves back against your hands. 2. And keep sliding your legs up. Grip your thighs or your legs. Pull the legs up and lengthen your chest down. 3. Hold the belly button up towards your spine. Lengthen your rib cage down more. Keep breathing. 4. And 5. Okay, inhale. We're slowly going to work your way back up. And exhale, just shake it out. Now we want to stretch the front of the hip flexor. So when we do a forward bend, the hip flexor right here is contracting. And what you want to do when you stretch is do a counter stretch. So if I just did a forward bend, now I want to do a back bend. So instead of contracting the front, I'm going to stretch the front. So this is pretty easy. You probably know how to do this. Just bend your right leg and catch the foot. And that's already work. You want to try to work on lengthening your right knee down and kick your right foot back. Hold that for 5. If you need to hold on to a wall or to the ceiling, go ahead just to help you balance. That's fine. Okay, that's 1. Push your foot back into the hand, but keep your hip moving forward. 2, hold your belly in, stay tall, kick your foot back again. 3, try to stay tall, hold your belly in, keep breathing up here in your chest. 4, you need the deep breaths to release the muscle tissue. And 5, okay, and release the foot, other side. Inhale, bring your left leg up, catch the foot, and your leg might stay there. Maybe you can lengthen your knee down. Maybe you can kick your foot back, but keep your left hip pushing forward. Hold there. 1, kick the foot back into the hand so your leg is active. Breathe. 2, contain your core and try to grow tall as you kick your foot back. 3, holding your belly and try to keep the breath up in your chest. 4, and 5. Okay, release that and shake that out. Okay, I'm going to do one more forward bend before we do some core work. This time we're going to take our legs about 1 leg distance apart. So we're here. Bring the hands in your hips. Inhale your chest up and exhale. It's fine to bend your knees here. So we can start by bending them a lot just like we did before when we did our forward bend and our legs were hip distance. Now our feet are wider. It's okay to bend the knees here. And you want to bring, again, the rib cage towards your thighs and allow your back to lengthen. And then from here, you start to work your legs straight, but you stop at a tension point. You don't push beyond that. You stay there and you breathe. So when you find your tension point, you're taking 5 deep breaths. Here we go. And that's 1. So again, lean your hips forward, push the feet down, maybe work your legs a little bit straighter. Breathe. 2, lift your belly button up. Lengthen your rib cage down. Keep breathing. 3, if you want, you can grab onto your legs. Pull the legs up into the hip sockets as you lengthen your chest down. 4, your legs don't have to come straight. You just want to find the action of straightening. That's all. And 5, okay, slowly work your way back up. Your head comes up last. And come back into a regular standing position. Okay, we're going to do some core work now. When I say core work, that means the muscles along your spine. It's not your abdominal muscles. It's the muscles behind the abdominals, behind your organs. So, if you want to think about bringing your pinky fingers to the top of your pelvis and your thumbs to the bottom of your rib cage, pull everything in towards your belly button now. So this whole area is going and holding in like that. That's your core. Hold that. So you're not flexing your abs. You're pulling all the muscles in towards your belly. We'll start by bringing your left hand on the hip. And we're going to inhale and lift up the right knee. So that's already worked. This is core balancing. You're working your stabilizers. If you're a little bit more flexible, see if you can catch your big toe. And if you can catch your big toe, that's awesome. You want to start to work your legs straight. It doesn't have to come straight. You want to find the action of straightening. Eventually it does straighten out and you hold there. Okay? Hold there, that's 1. Hold your belly in. Keep putting the weight into your left foot. Breathe. 2, if your leg is bent, just lead the heel forward. Stop at your tension points and breathe. 3, focus on this whole pelvic area. Your belly stays in and you're growing tall. Breathe. 4. And 5. Okay, inhale, chest up. Exhale the leg or the knee out to the side. So this is fine. This is fine. Hold here. We're stretching the adductor. 1, grow tall. Contain your core. It's okay if you're using a wall to help you balance. 2, try to put all the weight into your left foot. Hold your core in. Breathe in your chest. 3, keep pulling your knee out to the side so you're getting a deeper stretch there in your adductor muscle. 4, you need that adductor to help you kick. And 5, okay, inhale your leg back into center. If you want, catch the leg from underneath. Try to straighten your leg as much as you can. So you can hold here. Now you want to start to release the leg. Bring the hands on your hips. Hold here. 1, pull the leg into the hip socket. That's where you contract the core. Lift up. 2, if you want to challenge yourself, lift your arms up. 3, grow tall, belly in, breathe in your chest. 4, and 5. Okay, kick the leg back. If you want, catch it with your left hand. Hold here. Or with your right hand. Sorry, that's already 1. Maybe kick the foot back into the hand. 2, maybe you start to lean forward a bit. 3, so we're stretching the front of the right hip flexor. Breathe deeply. 4, and 5. Okay, inhale, come back up. Exhale, release, shake it out. Other side. Right hand on the hip. And inhale, your left knee up, and that's a pose. You can hold that. That's already work. Maybe you catch the left big toe. Maybe you start to work the leg a little bit straighter, but the leg doesn't have to come straight. You want to find the action of straightening and breathe. 1, balance first. Put all the weight into your right foot. Focus on the core to help you balance. Pull these muscles in. 2, if your leg is bent, lead the heel forward. The leg doesn't have to come straight. 3, grow tall, breathe up in your chest, but keep this core strong. 4, and 5. Okay, we're going to exhale the leg or the knee out to the side. Hold here. 1, you're putting weight in your right foot over and over. It's okay to use a wall. 2, contain your core to stay balanced, grow tall, breathe up here. 3, try to pull your knee out to the side so you're getting a deeper stretch here in your adductor. 4, and 5. Okay, we'll bring the leg back into center, hands underneath your leg. Start to work your leg straight. It doesn't matter how high it comes. You want to keep it at the highest point, so you're holding a flexion there. Hold here. You can start here. That's 1. You can stay here or bring the hands on your hips, but keep this core lifting. 2, pull this leg into the hip sockets. Your core stays in. Grow tall. 3, you have to breathe. Pull the leg into the hip socket again. 4, and 5. Exhale, release the leg. Catch your foot with your left hand. Lift your right hand up. So you can start here. That's already work. That's 1. Kick the foot into the hand so you're stretching the front of the left hip flexor. 2, try to contain your core. Lift your chest up. Breathe in your chest. 3, focus on keeping the weight in your right foot. And if you come out, come back in. That's totally normal. 4, and 5. Okay, release that foot down and just shake it out. And we're going to come down into our seat, onto our hips, and we're going to do some seated stretches. So we'll start off with 1 forward bend. And again, because you're likely tight in your lower back, I'm expecting you to bend your knees a lot. Even if you're flexible, start doing this anyway. And then bring your chest towards your thighs and catch your big toes, or you can catch the outside edges of your feet. So I'm going to start here. Maybe you start to straighten them a little bit, but you stop at your tension point. Don't push. Breathe at the tension point and see what happens. If your muscles loosen up, then you can go a little bit deeper. But if they don't loosen up, stay there and breathe so that you're at your fullest extent of your range of motion, and you're learning to teach the muscles to relax a little bit in that space. Hold there. 1, so don't drop your head. Keep lengthening your head and your rib cage forward. That's where the intensity comes. 2, bend your elbows, bring your shoulders back, reach your chest forward. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit. 3, imagine a string on your belly button pulling back. It pulls your hips back, and then lengthen your chest forward. 4, and 5. Okay, inhale, work your way back up. And we're going to change poses. So from this seated position, we're going to bend our left leg back. So we're doing some internal rotation where we're stretching the outer line of the leg. It's okay if your hips are tight. You might be up like that. Just keep the hands beside you. Maybe you can bring that hip down. You can fold forward here, but this is about stretching this left hip. So we're going to start to reach your chest forward. Try to keep this hip down. Hold here. 1, some people can grab their foot, but then they lose control here. So I like to keep the hands down. 2, squeeze your legs in, pull your belly back, reach your chest forward. 3, try to push your left foot down, keep your left hip down. 4, 5, inhale, come up, swing your left leg straight and bend your right leg back. Same thing, other side. And you want to keep that right hip down, so you don't want to be falling onto your left side. You want to stay relatively balanced on your hips and then start to reach your chest forward. Hold there. 1, try to keep that right hip down. Breathe. That's 2 breaths. Try to squeeze your knees close together. Lengthen that right knee forward. 3, as your right hip is heavy, lengthen your chest away from your hip. 4, And 5. Very good. Inhale, come back up, release your right leg, and just shake it out. Okay, we're going to stretch out our external rotators now. So here we're going to keep your left leg straight, lift up your right ankle, and you want to just roll the leg in the hip socket. So by doing this, you're telling the tendons in your hip just to relax a bit. They don't have to stay tight. Especially as an athlete, those are tight all the time because you're used to contracting. So now we're just telling them to relax a bit. That's all we're doing. So you can stay here. This is already a stretch for a lot of you. Maybe you can take the hands underneath your shin and hold them like that. If you're a bit more flexible, you can catch the outer edge of the leg and interlace your fingers. Swing the right leg towards your left foot. Grow tall. Hold here. Breathe. 1. Keep your left leg strong. Now grow tall against the energy of the leg. 2. Keep swinging your right hip towards your left foot. Breathe. 3. Flex your right foot. Bring the heel higher and bring the shin closer to your chest. Breathe again. 4. And 5. Okay, release your right leg. We're going to bend the left leg back, lift up your ankle, and again, we're just going to move the leg in the hip socket. So we're going to remind the tendons that they don't have to contract. It's okay to relax a bit, and we're going to explore a greater range of motion. So you can stay here with the hands underneath your ankle. Maybe bring the hands underneath your shin like that, or interlace the fingers around the front of the shin. Roll the left hip towards your right leg. Grow tall. Hold here and breathe. 1. Strong right leg and grow tall. 2. And keep rolling your left hip towards the right foot so the pelvic bone is moving away from the sacrum. Keep breathing. 3. Flex your left foot. Bring the heel higher. Bring the shin closer to your chest. Breathe. 4. And 5. Okay, release the foot. We're going to bring the feet together now and the knees out to the side. So if you're an athlete, chances are your knees are up here. Because this muscle here, that's your adductor, your major adductor, that's going to be really tight. And that's okay. I would suggest keep your hands behind you, grow tall, and then lengthen your knees out to the side. Don't push the knees down. Lengthen them out to the side so you start to stretch the adductor. That's the point. And just hold here. Reaching your chest forward. And that's 1. Lengthen your knees out to the side. Lift your pelvic floor so this whole area is contained. 2. And as you contain that core, grow tall, push your chest forward. 3. Squeeze your feet together and lengthen your knees out to the side again. Breathe. 4. And 5. Okay. Use your hands to help you lift the knees, strain your legs. You want your legs to be 90 degrees. So if you're not that flexible, I would just keep the hands behind you. Push into your hips, grow tall. Push your arms or push into your hands and try to shift your chest forward. And you can hold there. That's a great stretch. Maybe you catch onto your shins. Pull the shins back and reach your chest forward. Eventually catch your feet. Hold there. 1. Keep your legs strong. The legs root into the floor. Strong legs. 2. And then you lengthen your rib cage away. Don't push down. Lengthen forward. 3. Strong legs. Hips are grounded. Lengthen your rib cage forward. Lifting your pelvic floor. 4. Use your hands to shift your chest forward. And 5. Okay, inhale, come up. You can bring your legs back in a bit, just shake them out. And we're just going to do a little bit of core work before we call it a day. So we're going to lean the weight back. Grab onto your ankles. We're going to do it's called a boat pose. So you lift up one foot, you lift up both feet so you're balancing. You can stay here. Maybe release your hands. We'll start here. Breathe, 5 breaths. That's 1. Maybe work your legs straighter. 2. Chop your arms down, lift your chest up. Breathe. 3. Try to pull your shoulders back and chest forward. 4. And 5. Cross your shins. Push into your hands. Inhale, just lift your hips up. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do that again. Knees up, release your hands, hold here. Breathe. 1. Knees to your chest, maybe work your legs straighter. 2. Chop your arms down, lift your chest up. Breathe. 3. Bring your shoulders back, chest forward. Breathe. 4. And 5. Cross your shins, push into your hands. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down. We're going to do one more with a variation for soccer players. So bring the knees to your chest, release your hands, hold here, breathe. And that's 1. Straighten one leg, keep the leg bent, and then switch. 2. 3. Chop your arms down, chest up. Keep switching legs. 4. Focus. Good. And 5. Cross your shins. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. Just lie down on your back for a second. And ideally, you want to be able to grab your ankles or grab your feet. If you're not that flexible, that's okay if you can't grab your feet just yet. You keep your hands here. We're going to inhale. Push your feet down. Lift your hips up. Tuck the elbows underneath you. Hold there and breathe. 1. Push your feet down. Favor the inner edges of your feet. 2. As you favor the inner edges of your feet, try to make your legs straighter. Bring your hips up. 3. So we're just counterposing and stretching the front of the hip flexors to counter the work we just did. 4. And 5. And lower down. If you can, this time try to grab your ankles. Once more. Push your feet down. Lift your hips up. Tuck the shoulders underneath you. Hold there. 1. Kick your feet into the hands. 2. Push your feet down. Lift your hips up. 3. Pull your hands back against your feet. Get your hips up. Breathe. 4. And 5. And lowering down. Hug your legs into your chest. Rock side to side. So you massage the paraspinal muscles. Go ahead and make little circles. And the other way. Okay, and then rock up to a seated position. That's your first stretching session for the Bradford Wolves. The next session we do is going to be something a bit more focused on your core work, because if you have a longer and stronger core that's adaptable, that'll definitely improve your focus and improve your game. I hope that helps you guys. Good luck with your practice. Listen to Coach Roberto.